All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome to SpeedGaming. We are approaching the end of the group stage of the 2024 Link to the Past Randomizer Main Tournament. Today we have a tiebreaker in Group AA between Nochibato and Ralen Tankir. I am Gilgamesh. I am joined by none other than Tiberius37. Hello.
Well,
So yes, both of these players ended up 3-3 in their group, and they are vying for the second place in the brackets for their group. So the first place is already set. Zenit Schwert took first place in this group, and now it's a win or go home race for Nochi and Ralen. Winner will move on to brackets, and loser will be out.
yeah, I mean, it's obviously both these runners put in some good effort. Just going 3-3, one more final push, and we'll see who gets that second spot, like you were saying.
Yeah, just one more race. Why not play more rando?
I mean, that's why we do this, right? And in honor of playing more rando, let's do all the dungeons.
Yeah, so that is, I believe, the default mode for tiebreaker. So I think the tiebreaker rule is if the two players can come to an agreement on the mode, it is that mode. But if there is no agreement, then it defaults to add keys.
I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. I like more rando.
Yeah, no, I think it's fine too. I just make sure everybody's kept up to date here.
That's fair. Before this, you told me you were the expert. I just get to make fun of you.
That's right. Yes, Tiberius, who doesn't even know what main tournament is.
I thought it was Maine, MANE, and we were all supposed to grow beards.
That's what I was pushing for, but Rick said no.
Anywho, we have both these runners, starting at Sank, remembering they have boots.
Stank start.
Getting the bonk rocks, getting that nice mirror here out of the Lost Woods. You love to see that early on, helping with your routing.
Yeah, so the nice thing about starting with boots, other than the game is fun, is that you can kind of guarantee yourself bombs early on, because there's the bonk rock right outside of the fortune teller, north of Kakariko. So Sank start is pretty common in this mode because you can always pick up a few bombs there.
Oh, for sure, but we don't have to worry about that. Looks like our bush crab is just handing out free bombs today.
Indeed. So yeah, this is all dungeons. It's exactly as it sounds. Both players will have to complete every dungeon in the game before Ganon becomes vulnerable. Ralen doing another tree pull there to pick up some money, which is nice. We'll definitely have bottle vendor cash before heading to Kakariko. Nochi might end up a little short, depending on what's in here in the well.
Yeah, if my math is correct, he's going to want to find another 20 rupees plus all the pots. But, bottle vendor is always one of those things where, yeah, you like to get it early, but odds are you're coming back to CAC at some point unless we find the mirror and a bottle here.
Well, let's see. It's got 5 more checks to pick up another 20 in the well.
I said mirror, didn't I? I'm looking at the tracker.
You did.
Kind of flute.
We have one. I knew what you meant. They're both blue.
Gil, call me out on this, man.
Sorry, that's right. I'm the expert.
I don't even play this game anymore. I'm a Z2 main now, apparently.
It was 5, and
well, there's that flute.
There's that flute you were talking about. I think in this case, you just take the other dip in the well, grab 5 more, and guarantee yourself the money.
Yeah, I mean, worst case scenario though, unless of course bottle vendor's something nice, you can just flute here once you find that $5.
That is true. Yeah, the flute does make it a little bit better, but you also don't want to end up, in a scenario where you're in Eastern or something like that, and then you could have had the Eastern big key.
Look at you thinking smart there.
Listen,
but it is just $20, and both runners do remember to activate their flutes.
See, that's something I would have forgotten.
100% on my end.
I always forget early flute.
I think I'm usually about to dash out of the south end of CAC, and I go, oh yeah.
Right, yeah. Well, I'll get it next time. It's fine.
All right, but
Nochi not having any luck finding any cash in the remainder of Kakariko here, so.
Gil,
Yes.
expert Gil, these
Yes,
two
I'm here.
runners, did they 1-1 with each other, or what's that scenario look like? I assume they did because that's how the tiebreaker works, right?
Correct, yes. So the for the second place in the group, the tiebreaker goes obviously main record, and then head-to-head record. So they would have 1-1, and then it checks your record against the first place in the group, and then your record against the last person in the group. And if all those end up tied, then you do a tiebreaker.
You love to see it.
So I believe that means that Nochi and Ralen both 1-1 all of the members of their group. All right, there's a nice bug net in the dam there. Shame we don't have a spot on the tracker for that, but you know, what can you do?
Definitely one of those safeties you tend to forget about up until it saves you like late in the game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like if you accidentally get crapped running around here with no sword.
That's never happened to anyone in the history of Rando, right?
I don't think so, no.
All right, let's see how our bomb tosses are for our runners here in Mini Moldorm Cave.
All right, Nochi getting lucky with the RNG there. Oh, and a double.
Yep,
All right.
nice 3-bomb cave there from Nochi. The bombs and the Moldorms not playing nicely with Ralen, though.
Of course, and then of course, oh wow, okay. Sword, Moon Pearl, Lamp. Pretty good.
I mean, he's going to be happy he still had enough bombs to get through it, that's for sure.
Alright, smartly remembering to use the flute here to get to Ice Ride Cave. So yeah, so far these opening routes have been, you know, pretty common from all the IQs I've seen. There's the starting boots really make it so there's not a ton of divergence. After this, we might. Oh, nice cane in Ice Ride Cave. So after this, we have the option. You know, we can do. You can go to the mountain for a couple checks. You can go to Eastern area. We can check Gina's Cave.
Yeah.
We have Hyrule Castle. Personally, with Lamp, Mirror, and Sword, I kind of like Hyrule Castle here. It kind of tends to get left behind sometimes, and it's really never going to get much faster now. You can wait to try to loop in a Castle Tower check, I suppose, if we can pick up another sword, but...
Yeah, it's definitely one of those, like you said, checks that's easy to orphan and easy to forget about. As Nochi grabs a glove and Ralen gets a book. This is...
I would much rather have a book than a glove.
You're a scholar, not a fighter.
Yeah, yes, obviously.
The great poet Gilgamesh, right?
Yes,
But
my epic.
starts like this, I'm not gonna lie, always make me nervous because it's like, okay, we have a good chunk of stuff already. Yes, we have to, find keys, but this is and a bottle too, and there's that big key.
That is a nice find for Raylan before going up the mountain, because Raylan can clear Terra now except for the basement.
Yeah, the less you leave behind, the better for sure.
So it looks like he's going to go ahead and do the Hyrule Castle play here. I definitely wouldn't be following that book right now with it being out of logic. That doesn't make a lot of sense, but I think this was a good choice.
As long as you think it's a good choice, Gil, then I think it's a good choice.
Mm-hmm. and I am known for making only good choices.
That's why they
That's
call
why
you.
I would definitely went undefeated in groups. Didn't have any dumb losses because I made a dumb choice.
Well, the G in Gilgamesh stands for good choice, doesn't
I think so.
it? As, like you said, though, Ralen, going into that escape as Nochi gets Dark World Axis and a hammer.
Okay. So, this is a tricky spot because, like, Dark World is tempting, but also nothing's really completable in Dark World yet.
I would just argue it's more tempting with that mirror.
It is, and I think you can make a good case for doing like Hype Cave over to Digging Game because you can hit Key 45 and stuff along the way. Vu Skull Woods area right now is a little sketchy, given that you're leaving behind some stuff potentially. But yeah, and then you have to, there's the concern potentially that you're leaving something in the eastern area, which is Sphere Zero.
Well, I know neither of these runners need it, but that early blue mail might also tempt Nochi into routing Dark World with Light World. I mean,
Certainly
6
doesn't
hearts,
hurt.
yeah, that's enough, but...
Alright, see if Ralen picks up anything interesting here in the basement. $20.
I was going to get all excited. Oh, a big key to the... but I think at this point, the community is pretty used to some of these modes, especially 80 keys, knowing that you're going to get that text down there.
Yeah, there's nothing. This is one of the more popular modes. Nothing too crazy here. So Frost Hunt. The key to Thieves Town. Okay, well now suddenly I'm looking at Village of Outcasts. The downside.
Everyone but Gamma is looking at the Village of Outcasts.
Yeah, Nochi does not have that small key, unfortunately. Or fortunately, depending on who you are, I suppose. Nochi, what are we doing? Oh, we're going to do back of escape. Okay.
Little back of escape check here. Ralen did not have the key to continue, so these will be new checks for us. Nothing much in the front.
Well, there was the Thieves Town Small. That's the quote-unquote
right.
exciting find. But definitely nothing in the back.
So like you said, Ralen's at least going to be able to finish Tower of Hera. So going to get that hammer, going to see if there's anything else important up here outside of the basement check, of course. But not a whole lot on Eastern Death Mountain either. So, I mean, what could really swing, like a hook shot or even the mitts on Ralen's side? But I think with what the game has already given us, it's probably saying, hey, start checking Dark World, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, I mean, again, the Eastern's the outstanding Light World area here, but we'll see what happens. Nochi's going to go ahead and head into Dark World here at Village of Outcasts. I'm going to go on record saying I don't care for this as your starting play. I think you want to do Hype Cave South stuff first. Give yourself a chance to find that Thieves Town small key, which obviously we know you won't find there, but he doesn't know that. Also, maybe a Fire Rod or a Skullwood Small or something before coming up here.
Yeah, I mean, that's I do like that. We have 2 pod smalls, so I mean, he could have also started over at Fluke 5. Again, in this mode especially, I feel like for pod, you either put it off until you can clear it, or you commit to a double dip.
Yeah, doing pod Eastern here is... I think it's a reasonable option. You're still multiple items away from being able to do either of them, so you don't feel super bad about double dipping. And yeah, so Ralen leaving behind that bottle, I think Ralen is planning on just grabbing the bottle after Hera, was his plan. Obviously not realizing that he was just going to get a hammer in there. It's a little bit faster to grab it afterwards, because then you don't have to worry about doing the bomb jump across and reclimbing again. It's a third pod small for Nochi.
Love it, love it.
Oh, there's the flippers. Okay, so that puts the book, yay, and that Hera big in logic. A question from chat: has Nochi done back of escape yet? In fact, yes. Nochi rushed back of escape quite early. A noted back of escape skipper.
Only in bingo, though.
Swamp
Hey,
Small.
Swamp.
Okay, I am giving a massive side eye to Swamp Palace right now. I would very heavily consider doing Swamp after, if you're going south here, I would very heavily consider dipping in there after you do Hype Cave.
I was going to say, I can see your side eye from all the way over here, so I can attest it is a massive side eye. Just a couple of blueberries. Nochi probably going to check your ledge here, Gil. Yep.
My ledge is trash.
Speaking of trash, Moldorm goes down. Ralen taking the first boss of the seed, getting a nice pendant. Is that no? He's blue pendant and vanilla, right? Because they switch red and blue. And look at this guy. Doesn't even NMG.
So I will say, with Nochi going over here to King's Tomb, I don't like this as much, because generally if I'm doing this, I want to hop over to Catfish and then mirror and do Zora area. But the problem is Nochi doesn't have enough money for Zora, so I probably would have left this stuff. Because dashing all the way back to Kakariko here is kind of stinky.
I mean, the really sad part is we know there's a 300 in Waterfall Ferry.
That's true.
Even so,
although still not enough.
Up until a 300. Or a key. All right.
Skull but small. Okay, that is nice to have. That makes. I mean, it doesn't make a huge difference, but. Did Ralen check Ether Tablet? I'm not sure.
I don't believe he did. If he did, we totally missed it because we are consummate professionals. Ralen is playing fast and loose with these bombs, but remembering you can buy.
It's fine, yeah. They're right here.
I remember thinking it when he was over in Ice Rod Cave. He walked right by the 50-50 twice without even checking it, but I don't think he had the glove back then, so now I look silly. Alright.
Oh, Nochi, these dashes. You're killing me, buddy.
He's earning a muffin.
Do not. Really didn't even do the muffin dash.
Then he's doing it on purpose, knowing you're on comms.
Alright, coming into Thieves down here. No small key. That's never burned anyone before, though.
It's fine. It's still just going to be a compass or something silly down there. Nochi doing the dance of the Zyzax here. Trying to run around him, even though he has a blue mail. Just tank it.
This is another reason why I don't like to leave that front of escape stuff super long. Like, you don't know if your opponent Uncle Routed. Like, some people do still Uncle Route. They're wrong, but some people do still do it, and you don't want to leave something there for, going on half an hour.
Ping. You're on your own now, Gil.
What happened?
I said, look at that. Work ping. Not you making fun of Uncle Router.
Oh, I see. Right, I forgot you were with those people.
Wow. Sorry for completely derailing you there.
No, it's fine. I wasn't saying anything important anyway.
You just hate leaving front of escape when it has things, but you're totally fine leaving it when it doesn't because, you study under the school of...
Zach is agreeing with you, so that should show you that you're on the wrong side.
Yeah, more shade thrown. You know what, Gil? Your Lego build looks silly.
No.
Actually, it's really cool. But also, um, not a whole lot here in Thieves Town as Nochi goes through the boring part here, getting the quick checks out of the way, slow checks to come. Ralen gonna get those flippers. We'll see if he heeds your advice and heads to Swamp hookless.
I mean, like, yeah, no one likes doing hookless swamp, but you get all those items to unlock swamp in under 20 minutes and add keys, and I am very suspicious.
No, that's fair. But I also want to check in how you're feeling that they both didn't go to Hype Cave, ignoring your advice that they can totally hear 10 minutes in the future.
So I think for Ralen, it makes a little more sense because Ralen had both Thieves Town keys. So he knows he can full clear Thieves Town over here. Nochi didn't have all that stuff, so I still would have started Hype Cave.
All right, more keys Nochi didn't want to see, but moving right along here.
Is that 3 Skullwood Smalls I see?
It sure is, friend.
Oh my gosh.
Think of all the doors you can open in Skull now.
So many doors.
Hey, now he doesn't need to get the key in the back from the Gibdo.
That's true.
It works.
Time save.
We'll see if muscle memory takes over and he still goes to kill the Gibdo, but that's for future Nochi. And I think, yeah, Ralen's gonna get those keys. No, I think one of those keys was in Graveyard Ledge, so yes. Ralen not gonna get it. And man, Thieves Town really paying out, but first crystal going to Nochibato.
Yep, and we'll see here soon if that lack of a Thieves Town small is gonna burn Nochi.
It's Schrodinger's chest.
Is it? I felt blind on all these. Or was that Blind's actual name before?
Ooh.
Before
succumbing to Ganon's.
Before accidentally stumbling on the Dark World portal without a moon pearl.
Too busy waxing philosophical and then stumbled into the Dark World and thought, well, I live here now.
Big key to Ice Palace. Alright. I'm also giving the side-eye to Ice Palace as soon as we find this.
Oh, Ice is going to have something since we got that Bombos, and it's going to have Fire Rod thanks to Rule of Fire. Mr. Bato.
He doesn't have enough money for digging you.
There's a faster way to do this.
Nope. No, there's not. Nobody can do it.
Get more rupees. Why are you doing this to me, Gil?
Listen, nobody's ever done the 99 before, so.
That's true. But look at all this money he's digging up anyway.
Well, it's good now. He's got pod money, too.
Isn't Pod getting one of your famous side-eyes?
No, not yet. This is a pretty typical Pod loadout for 20 minutes into an ad key seed. It's not like screaming, come here, yet.
Alright, we're coming up on the chest. I'm calling something nice but not necessary, like another bottle.
Half magic?
Yeah. Something, like I said, something that's nice to have but not necessary. Or, yeah. Maybe the other male upgrade. I don't know. But I'm not feeling total trash. But I don't think it'll be progression.
Well, we'll find out. Meanwhile, Nochi's going to go ahead and finish up this South Dark World stuff.
Time for you to be totally vindicated by this amazing hype cave.
Faster to go lift the rock, Nochi.
He's
Oh, he's going to check this. All right. All right, here's my opinion, which I'm sure everybody wants to hear. You don't need to check bottle vendor, or not bottle vendor, bomb vendor in ad keys. Who cares?
The more you know. Okay, I stand wholly corrected, Gil.
Yeah, you were wrong. Yeah, that's pretty important.
So about that hookless swamp.
About Swamp Palace, yeah. That's going to be a problem for Nochi.
Yeah.
And the worst part is this vindicates Gamachu.
Yeah. It's just the worst day ever.
Yeah, the problem being, like, I mean, the hook shot does lock some stuff, but it doesn't lock a ton. So Nochi's going to be able to do a lot of the game before he goes back for that.
I can honestly see a hookless swamp dip before going back, even if he goes to front of escape right now to get that key. That is a nice advantage Ralen has.
And this is why.
Don't say it.
Don't skip front of escape.
Exactly, just uncle route.
No, don't do that.
You could have had that key years ago, Gil. It was in the first chest. You didn't even need to fight.
No. But I mean, no, like, legitimately, that's the balance you have to find, right? That's, these Sphere 1 locations, you don't want to leave them for too long because they could have items. Like, it's ad keys. You're going to have to clear most of the game anyway. So, I mean, you can try to wait on Hyrule Castle till you have a cape or another sword to do Castle Tower stuff, but again, mirror, boots, sword, like, it wasn't going to get that much faster.
No, that's fair. It's like we could just as easily be having this conversation of, if nothing was there, but that's not the seed we're dealt right now, and you still need to see, okay. And it's still possible too, Nochi sees that key and says a Sphere 0 Thieves Down key and thinks about that.
Nobody thinks about that. Nobody's ever going to think about that.
I'm trying to play both sides here, Mr. Gamesh.
Nochi's going to go to pod area now and do pod Eastern.
Oh, absolutely. I genuinely don't see him touching front of escape for a while. Which is fine because, do your density and most of the time,
at this point, even if he goes front of escape and finds that Thieves Town small, he's not going straight back to Thieves Town, so... Yeah, I mean, it's unfortunate, but that's going to set Nochi back pretty far early on here.
Yeah. Or on the inverse, that's going to set Ralen pretty far ahead here.
Maybe.
To be determined. Oh.
So the best scenario, I think, for Nochi is that, like, mitts are in the back of Swamp, because that locks him out of doing a lot of stuff.
Yeah, that's true.
If those mitts are just sitting here in pod, it just opens up so many things for Nochi to do that are not go back to Thieves Town.
Yeah, I would almost argue if he finds mitts, he's gonna want a sword or a cape and a castle tower small almost at the same time, because then it will further incentivize the check. Again, not necessarily guaranteeing that he would, run back to Thieves Town, but at least would make sure he has the key for a potential future trip.
Wow, doing Beaky chest here with only... Oh, no, he's got 5 smalls. Okay, never mind. This makes sense.
And here comes that swamp play. Like you said, Gil, just game's kind of hitting you over the head with it.
I mean, now there's literally no reason not to do swamp. It's full clearable. It is a pendant.
This man says, don't bother checking the bomb shop, but worry about pendants and ad keys? Come on.
Well, man. I'm just saying it's a pendant, which means that GT can be accessible without hookshot as well.
Okay, that part's fair. Nochi pulling off a nice potion camera unlock there. Grabbing a couple extra items here. Really going to make this pod trip worth it. I mean, Finding the bow
get,
is best case scenario, but he doesn't have the big key either. So
legitimately, the best case scenario for Nochi is to find absolutely nothing.
yeah, that's also true. The faster the game tries to incentivize him to, for whatever reason, running back to Thieves Town, the better in his eyes.
All right, that's basically nothing.
Ralen setting up for a nice dive bomber here. I forget all
Dive
the
bomber.
nuanced names.
I start calling it dive bomber.
I think that was like the tech when it was with the bomb, but he has Kane. I'm gonna start pulling out boomer strats on you, Gil. All right.
Listen, I still do Raiden Pot and Hera, so don't tell me about boomer strats.
I was there when they were written. Oh, hey, look, that cape and that sword. I said either or game.
Yeah, I mean that could. I mean, I don't know that pulls you to front of escape yet, but Eastern Palace.
No,
Okay, it's nice to find. I guess makes the Eastern Palace dip after this if we're gonna do it better.
Yeah, I mean, really the only thing that could make this desert big. So
Okay, that's a beatable desert now for Ralen. See, look at all this time that Nochi has to look at the menu. He could check his crystals instead of talking to the bomb vendor.
Yes. I think when earlier chat was asking about the slideshow that Nochi was playing, that's what they were talking about.
All right, fire big here in pod. We'll take that as well.
No one's ever happy to see that key. No one in this entire community.
I don't think so.
A lot of GT smalls over here in Swamp as well.
Yeah.
In the front too, which just plays more off of what you were saying about, GT itself not being hook locked.
All right, let's see if we got anything in the back here. So again, like, I think the best case scenario for Nochi is for something either Mitz to be back here or something locking Mitz to be back here.
Survey says. Whew, that hair compass.
Listen, Hera Compass logically required to complete this scene.
That is true.
Actually, wait a second. Oh no, Hera's a pendant too. Never mind.
Gil, I trusted you.
No, it is still logically required, but I was thinking that could have potentially made GT not hookshot locked, or could have made GT hookshot locked if Hera was a crystal, but it's not.
I see.
We're getting deep in the weeds here.
For some reason, I thought they changed that logic a while back, but I haven't read a change log.
Yeah, the map compass stuff still matters logically. In add keys, anyway. Or in VTOR branch, I should say. I don't think it matters in doors.
Yeah. I mean, other than that logical nugget, a whole lot of nothing back here so far. And yeah, Ralen going to have to do double spins here, or he could menu boss. But getting those nice double spins.
Fire sword spins are still fast with the menu boss.
Absolutely, especially if you can get the doubles. I was waiting for the pod big to be in that Eastern big chest, so it's like, hey, go to pod to get your Eastern big to go right back to pod.
Ralen's got like so few items, he could actually probably quick swap to hammer after pulling the...
Oh man, you're right.
But it's fine.
All right, Gil, is this going to be the green pennant or the other useless one?
I don't know. One of them. Nice GT map. It's the other useless one. Alright, so nothing... I mean, there was the Desert Big, but that's it.
Yeah, I mean, so... maybe by the time Nochi gets that hook shot, he go modes it and saves a little bit of time, but... I mean, Yeah.
Again, the issue is like that it locked nothing, so
Yeah.
yeah, like it doesn't even lock GT. 3 pendant Skullwoods.
All right, that is all of our info then. That is our 3 pendants. Our 5/6 is Mire and Pod, and everything else is just a silly little blue crystal.
So what does Nochi do from here? I think. All right, the way Nochi's routing this, I think this is going to be Pyramid Ledge, Front of Escape.
First
Which will
chest.
theoretically be good. First chest of Castle Tower. Yeah, you probably do first chest of Castle Tower while you're there as well. You check Hobo, Mirror here, check Hobo on the way.
Yeah, get your hair a big. I think this will be pod 6 for Ralen, if I remember right.
Dang, imagine having six pod smalls.
Yeah, and imagine it having nothing at all in it, too.
Well, I mean, the Mire Big was six pod locked.
That's fair. Yeah, that's true.
A sword.
You know, Gil, this whole logic thing you bring to the table, I appreciate it.
Listen, it's hard. Logic is difficult.
I mean, that's why I have 0 wins in this tournament.
Is that why?
Yep, that's the only reason.
Oh, okay.
Nochi getting chased by a bee. Not even checking the pyramid ledge, Nochi. He's gonna wish he had.
That's pretty feels bad.
That is what you call comedic timing.
Yeah, it's. I don't know why you don't check that there.
My best guess is that at this point it's the sort of single cell gameplay of I'm just gonna go to what feels right, or green square go burr sort of thing.
Yeah, there's a pod big in Castle Tower 1. And now we're gonna check your ledge. Okay, dude. Oh.
I wish we had a webcam up right now.
I wish we did too.
Bum bum bum. One.
No, you can't mirror there. Oh wait, you can if you're just going uncle. Yeah,
yep, and looks like that's what he is doing. Maybe he was contemplating going right back into Castle Tower, but I mean, he can still do it from this side. He doesn't need the Dark World anymore.
Yeah, I don't know if you bother at this point. It's a tough call because it's a insignificant chunk of time to go all the way back up on top of the castle.
I mean, at this point, Nochi is about to be faced with those 2 choices, though. Do I go back to Thieves Town big? Do I go to that CT2? Otherwise, I think he has what Ralen's doing here, Catfish, the rest of Zora.
Right. Well, so Nochi to do Zora area stuff.
Oh, right.
But yeah, it's basically that, or then Nochi does. So Nochi can go back up to Hera, which kind of stinks because that's an extra mountain climb that Ralen didn't have to do. He can do Hookle's Frontal Swamp, which kind of stinks because that's an extra swamp tip that Ralen didn't have to do. Or he can do, yeah, like you said, he can do Castle Tower 2 or Thieves Town Big Chest, which you don't want to do. I guess actually Nochi can also do Spike Cave while he's up on the mountain, and Ether Tablet for whatever that's worth.
So I mean, logically, that's what we have, right? We have the tablets. We have Pod Big now.
I wasn't keeping super close count of where all those pod smalls were, so I don't know if all 6 of them are actually in logic to make Ether Tablet in logic, because the sword was 6 pod key locked.
That's true. I believe they were mostly logical. Because I mean, what have we done that's technically out of logic, though? Like we've come back and put it all into logic, I thought. unless you're talking about strictly key logic of like Hera.
Yeah, at this point, I think you're right. I think everything we've done is tied up properly.
So yeah, I'm genuinely trying to think of what our checks left are. Like collectively, it's Pod
Desert.
Big, Desert. So yeah, Ralen. Obviously, Ralen doesn't know it, but going to Desert's probably the next step in our progression chain.
Yeah, I mean, Ralen can clear Desert, so it makes sense.
Yeah.
Has to leave the right side, but you know, it's still another dungeon that you can knock out. And yeah, Nochi's coming back up here to check the second chest in Castle Tower. Ralen buying a potion.
I'm gonna guess Raylan's about to go to Pod and do.
Yeah, that indicates Pod. Yep. Which I think with 6 smalls is totally reasonable. And again, Ralen has also not been to Eastern, so this is fine. We know he's not going to find anything super interesting. Well, he'll find a sword, but that's basically it.
Yeah, I mean the sword's going to be nice. That'll open up the tablets. The one thing that does kind of stink is, he was just at Catfish. Could have run over and done, Castle Tower to get that Pod Big, but we can sit here. And
that's pretty out of the way. I think
absolutely.
Ralen just is unfortunate. I mean, fortunately for Nochi, but unfortunately for Ralen, like Castle Tower is not really in mind here.
Yeah, for sure. And that is all pen and crystal info for.
He also can't get in. That is true.
Ralen
that's
as
a good call.
Oh right, he never picked up his cape. That's also in Pod. I was looking for an out there and realized I. Jin, you want to swap in here? Yeah, chat hoping for the classic Castle Tower key in Castle Tower there, but was not to be.
Yes, the question is going to be what does Nochi do after Catfish here, because all his remaining options are poor.
Yeah, I mean he can do what, 2 checks in Desert without that big key. Yuck. I don't think either of them have done a Gina's Cave yet, so I mean that is his quote unquote density at this point, but it still doesn't feel good.
It's gonna be Hera clear. Yeah, I guess this makes sense. Hera, and then you can do Spike Cave afterwards. A check Ether Tablet.
Yeah. So I mean,
which Ralen did not. So I mean, there's an option for something to be there. I mean, it does really feel like we are going to run into Mitts here pretty soon, which is going to be bad for Nochi. But we'll see.
Maybe we're just going to run into the Desert Small, and then that's Mitts. I agree though. Like the penny has to drop at some point, and I feel like it's Mitts, Fire Rod, Bow, but they will each lead to each other. Just because that's sort of our next palace progression, as well as just straight up item progression. Not a whole lot on Ether.
Yeah, Ralen's that potion unlock.
Yep, you love to see it. Both runners pulling it off with aplomb as Nochi starts his Hera climb.
It was with a green bottle, not with a plum.
Shin, you want it? No. I appreciate you, Gilgamesh 501.
Listen, this is why they pick me for comms. I'm an idiot.
No, you're Patrick.
Yeah, so, I mean, trying to think about where these Mitts are. I mean, it seems like Desert or Bombos Tablet.
Yeah, or Pod Big Chest. That's our remaining check, I believe.
Man, that would be gross.
Right. I mean, it's not like this game has had anything in a big chest so far.
No, definitely not.
Nice hammer kill there on Moldorm as Ralen does pick up his big key. I mean,
I'm gonna throw this out for SG chat because I know they love it. Depending on where that fire rod is, could be mitts on pedestal. Because all the pendants are in logic once we get a fire rod.
oh god, and we have 3 skull smalls too.
No, she did check ether. It was just 3 bombs. All right, not Spiky Cave.
Yikes. I mean, like you said though, this is what Nochi needs, is to be horrifically funneled.
I know the problem is I don't see a scenario with nothing in the back of Swamp. I don't see a scenario where you can get funnels without finding mitts eventually.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, nice bow.
Hey, now we can go back and finish off Pod and Eastern.
Imagine if Ralen had decided to do Desert before coming to Pod Eastern.
You know, Mr. Hindsight commentary over here. Imagine
Listen, you go to the beatable dungeons first. Beatable dungeons first.
I know, I'm busting your chops, man. But you're right. The game definitely had breadcrumbs, and sure, of all the times we as runners can think of the game is just lying to me, there are countless other times where we're like, dude, the game literally told you where to go.
Game lies, but it also tells the truth sometimes. I would not have saved and quit to do Hookless Swamp. Because I would have done the front of Hyrule Castle and would have had that Thieves Town spot.
Yeah, you would have fluted to it.
Alright, I mean, does Nochi just go beat Pod Eastern now?
I mean, that'd be my guess.
Yeah.
That's 3 total more checks.
You have to do it. It's not going to get too much faster at this point. And then the dungeons will be completely cleared, so...
Yeah, never touch that area again. Alright, Ralen getting his sadness package out of Pod Eastern without that bow.
Well, Ralen's sadness package is going to be when he flutes to Desert right now and finds that bow on the ledge.
I would imagine an equal face cam reaction as Nochi picking up that Castle Tower Small right after doing CT1. Yep. So yeah, like you thought, Nochi just coming over here, gonna finish off Pod Eastern. Hope that Saha doesn't have anything, so you never ever have to come back.
Yeah, I mean, we're kind of getting down to it here. I mean, Desert wasn't the answer, and it's not going to be Landmo, because Landmo's not in logic yet without that small key. Is this vanilla music I'm hearing? What is happening? Does that exist?
Is the music in the booth with us right now, Gil? Do you see the music in the room?
This is the spookiest music of all time.
Dun, 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 dun. Alright, I was going to say a fresh check over here on Ralen's side. Just a piece of heart. There's that fire rod. Okay. Spicy.
Alright, so this is Nochi's chance, because he's going to bring him back to that area. If he has any inkling of doing Thieves Town, now is going to be the time to do it.
I mean, in his mind, that fire rod literally only opens 2 checks. Well, 3 with the ped, but he doesn't know peds and logic.
So I was going to say that's good for Nochi, unless the mitts are locked behind that pod. If the mitts are just locked behind that pod big, again, it'll be the same thing. Ralen will get funneled into Castle Tower sooner rather than later. Because after Ralen does Desert and goes back and does maybe does Eastern first. I don't know if he's going to go back there immediately without the pod big, but Ralen has kind of nothing left other than Ether Tablet and Bombo's Tablet. So we will see. Oh, we're seeing a Bolando here at Clear Mouse. Get your used bow emotes in chat. Alright, there we go. Both players taking down a boss at the same time there. Ralen getting a shield. Nochi picking up a map. Both players getting a crystal. And then Nochi gonna come in here and do Eastern. Ralen gonna clean up a Gimus Cave and then probably go to Eastern. I'm not really sure what Ralen does. It really doesn't have a whole lot left.
I mean, for Ralen, Eastern is 1 check without that pod big.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm not...
I could see him maybe doing Mountain for Ether Tablet plus Spike Cave.
Yeah. And unless he switches to that flute, looks like that's what we're about to get.
Yeah,
and he has Ether Tablet. He never checked that earlier.
Yeah, so it's either 2 checks here, 2 checks in Castle Tower, 1 check in Eastern. Like, it's all kind of crappy.
Yeah, that classic hourglass type seed where, like I said earlier, it gives you all this stuff at the start, and you think, all right, where's the joke? And it turns out this is the joke.
Rando is the joke.
Bring back NMG?
No.
Okay. Hey man, I'm not here to push you on your beliefs.
Listen, I ran an NMG, a very valid and definitely leaderboard eligible NMG at SG Live this year.
Was Gamma holding the controller?
No, I maybe might have done it on the practice hack and forgot to turn off fast cutscenes, but it's fine.
Hey, quality of life NMG is still NMG. Alright, about to get a new check here. Nochi setting up for the quick kill, quickly getting bopped out of it, taking his archery lessons from one very average and very frustrated gamer.
Alright, that's not the answer either. So we're going to head off to Skull Woods for Nochi. I mean, hopefully, fingers crossed that
there's
with
nothing?
Nochi having so few things left, he opts to go into Thieves Town.
I mean,
but we will see. Ralen's going to get that pod big, so we'll be at his fire rod soonish.
I mean, Nochi literally has Bombos, Hookless Swamp, Green Pendant Turn-In, the 2 checks in Skull, and Thieves Big.
That's a lot of things.
I know.
They're all bad, though.
They're terrible. And Ralen, like you said, probably going to grab this and think, well, fine, I'll go back, get that fire rod, and
Oh
check
yeah,
our
because he can
pedestal.
do pod and Eastern now. So
Proper sequencing.
this is also green pendant, so that's another item.
I thought I said that, but I probably said mirror again for...
You might have said it. You said a lot of things.
That's true. And good for you for ignoring me, because Lord knows I've been trying for 35 years. Alright, let's see if Nochi remembers that he has 2 keys and doesn't need that Gibdo key, or if muscle memory takes over. Or better yet, if he decides to read the ped after beating Skullwoods.
I mean, I think you still do. This is a serious race tie.
It is. This is for advancement into brackets. I mean,
you don't want to give up any time.
Nearing the 1 hour mark. So for those, just joining us, as you can see on the overlay, this is a group A tiebreaker.
Rah, tiebreaker.
Playing all the keys.
Yep. Both players 3 and 3 in groups. Both players with equal records against all the other players in their groups. So we are determining who advances onto brackets with this race.
Look at that.
Nochi remembered. Look at that.
Move. All right. Can Ralen do this hammer yump in 20 fewer pause menus than Nochi did?
Probably.
Yes. And yeah, pulls that fire rod and doesn't get distracted. Says, hey, I still need to finish this. Well done, well done.
Nochi have a little trouble here. Getting kind of aggressive with that hammer.
Yeah, I think his bottles are green and
I
B?
think you got to be more careful here because I don't. Oh, buddy. Okay, we're fine. Woo! Never in doubt. $50.
Okay, so
okay.
bomb plus green pendant
edge.
Jeez. Gil, clear my calendar for the afternoon.
Okay, I will email HR at your work and tell them that you're busy.
All right, cool. They'll forward it to me.
All right, what do we got? Oh, wait, allow.
Gamesh, why do you...
Nochi. Oh, he doesn't have Swamp. Oh, wait, actually, this is good for Nochi. Because the mitts are actually locked behind Hookshot.
Yeah, I mean, that is ideal.
The problem is he's still gonna dip Hookless Front of Swamp before doing Thieves Town.
That's true. And do we have the map for Swamp? So does he know? Because his best bet might actually be a map check to see if it's the pendant.
I don't know. Doesn't have to Thieves Town though. But yeah, I mean that's basically best case scenario for Nochi, and yeah, he's gonna go ahead and do Hookless Front of Swamp here. It makes sense, but he can't. At least he's not gonna get distracted too much longer.
Unless there's something on Bombos, which, again, can't really distract him that much with mitts being where they are.
Yeah, there's really nothing else that you can pull here that's going to bring you anywhere.
Super mitts?
Super mitts. Oh, dang. I forgot about those.
Yeah, chat raising a good point. Nochi's not going to dodge left side swamp where that desert big is.
I mean, you should never dodge left side swamp anyway in ad keys. I am HO.
I'll remember this, Mr. Gamesh. The next time I hear you say, always dodge left side swamp, I am HO.
I don't know if I've ever said that before.
Because that's exactly how you sound.
That's true.
Just a spot on him. So yeah, Nochi does know this is a pendant, so he knows his hookshot is available. So that
He doesn't
honestly,
have anything else other than some Bombos
yeah,
tablets, so he'll get funneled back there in a couple minutes. Now Raylan's still gonna have a lead on him because Nochi's been forced to double dip things. But we still have a couple outstanding items to find. We need a GT big, we need another Castle Tower small, we need an ice rod. So
Nochi might do desert before Thieves big.
oh yeah, you're probably right. He will, but it's clearable at least, because he'll get the big key in here. So it's not the end of the world.
Yeah, I mean he needs to do it. So, but like you said, that's one more thing that he'll think maybe to check, even though he's already,
Right.
cleared out the first bit of desert. It's going to be up to him to think, okay, is it on Lamo or on, in the big chest, or do I do the other disgusting out of the way check?
Well, he should know it can't be on Landmo because again, we don't have that small key yet.
This is true. But in the heat of the moment, Gil, sometimes, for lesser runners like myself, logic like that goes completely out the window.
Right. I forget about them sometimes.
Don't you forget about me.
Alright, Eastern Pod done for Ralen. Gonna take that Fire Rod over to Skull Woods. And then we'll be off to the races with Mitts, I think. I mean, I don't see how you don't just do Ice Palace immediately after getting those Mitts, but
yeah, I mean,
there are options. You could do Meyer too. I mean, Meyer and Ice Palace are both full clearable once you get Mitts. Well, actually, Meyer might not be. We don't know the medallion yet.
I guess, and that was sort of my devil's advocate. The only thing would be to, like, you have the hook shot, maybe go check Dark Death Mountain so you get that medallion requirement. It's something your opponent will probably do in an AD keys mode. And then you have that medallion requirement, and then, maybe check the Meyer requirement as well. But I agree.
I think you still want to clear the stuff down on the overworld first.
I was just trying to offer, like, if there was an alternative, it would be that, but you're still going to full clear ice because you can.
What if you just rush Smith Chain?
Then you're a mad lad, and I appreciate you. You haven't been wrong yet today, Gil.
Yeah, well, I would not do that, just for the record.
All right, T-minus 20 minutes until Mr. Gamesh eats his words.
I'm not saying it's not possible. It just... Listen, I love Ice Palace. You're not going to keep me away from Ice Palace for too long.
I mean, ever since Icebreaker was discovered how many years ago, like, all of a sudden that palace is just so smooth to watch routed correctly. All right, yeah, Nochi with the news that it's not here, but
yep,
I mean, probably going to do Bombos into desert. Yeah, he's got that mirror.
If something is on Bombos tablet, that would actually be pretty good news for Nochi, because Bombos tablet is very orphaned for Ralen right now.
Oh, especially once he gets those mitts.
So this is like,
like
a big key we need, Ice Rod, something.
A compass,
not so much.
But now he won't get lost in ice. Man, bring back the Link's Awakening chime when you have a compass so it tells you a small key is in the room.
Oh, okay. That'd be good for pottery.
I was just about to say for pottery modes only. That's like, oh man, that'd be great. Yeah, I'm sorry, chat. We're just sort of, going over each other's steps right now. We know where that progression is.
Important info we're talking about here. We have important insights.
All right, so the real question is, like we were talking about, where does Ralen go first? I feel like at this point, when you've been funneled into these disgustingly horrible mitts, you probably don't feel as good about that hook shot anymore, knowing that, hey, Swamp was a pendant, so all of a sudden this play isn't as crazy.
Yeah, I mean, you still feel okay about it, but yeah, I mean, you're not going to feel like it's necessarily guaranteed you're super far ahead. But yeah, I mean, I think at this point, you just kind of continue the path here. Raylan maybe feels a little bit bad about the pod big key, but what are you going to do?
And the mitts.
Wow.
Chance in a 216.
And yeah, straight to ice. Makes sense. We have the big key, we have a small key, we have Samaria. This is super nice to route.
Ooh, Nochi getting a miss there on Lamo. Gonna have to finish it off with the Master Sword. So I mean, what do we still need? Maybe maybe 2 medallions and 2 big keys. Ice Rod, right? We're down to
and Ice
at
Rod
most
and the Castle Tower small.
Oh, and a Castle Tower small. So 6, at most 6 things.
Yes.
I agree with clearing ice here, but after that, I feel like getting your knowledge is pretty darn important on your medallions.
I mean, I would check Meyer, and if you can get it to Meyer, then do Meyer. Give yourself as many chances as you have to find the TR stuff before you go up the mountain.
Yeah, no, sorry. That's, again, kind of what I meant. Like,
Yeah.
go over to Meyer, because that's...
Oh, yeah, 100%, yeah.
Sorry. Thank you for...
100% do Meyer next, because, I mean, what else are you going to do? Smith Chain, like...
Can't wait for you to eat those words.
I'm not saying that nothing is there. I'm saying that nobody wants to do it, because it's bad.
Like Leroy Brown bad, or...
Yeah, big bad. Baddest Smith in the whole dang town.
Better than old King Catfish. Meaner than a Smith who's a frog. I don't know. All right, and yeah, Ralen had a key there, so I don't know. It's always
good, decent point in chat about there not really being a lot of decision points left for Nochi to find time to catch up. There's still scenarios that would help. If Ralen decides to rush GT looking for the last Castle Tower small or something, and it's not in there, and Nochi happens to find it somewhere else. But options are dwindling, for sure.
Yep, and, well, there's like you said, there's another medallion.
So, yeah, chances are pretty good we can just do Meyer now, once we head over there.
Feels bad moment for Nochi in 3, 2.
Oh my gosh, a hook shot.
Wherever is Gamachu?
I don't know. It's a shame he's not here right now.
Probably asleep.
Probably dodging.
Got him. All right, yeah. Ether, I didn't see anything else exciting in ice.
No, doesn't look like it.
So a nice non-half magic Master Sword.
We have bombos.
I mean,
we have bombos.
Red Mail and 12 hearts too. It's not going to be a terrible fight by any means.
13 hearts even.
Yes, but he only had 12 available to him. I see your point. I see your point. Yes.
All right, nice fight there. also have Pyramid Fairy after beating Meyer. So that's a
Yeah.
potential out for Nochi if Ralen decides to skip that.
So I mean, it's at this point though, like to your point, to overuse that word, do you just full clear, under the mountain, and do Pyramid Fairy, do Smith Chain, and hope you find that Ice Rod and potentially Quake?
It depends on how much stuff I am away from. Like, obviously, I'm not going up the mountain without TR Big Key, most likely. I probably want to try to find Ice Rod, too. But... Oh, nice silvers.
Cute. All right, and I completely missed it on Ralen's side. Do we have... No, I think he just dashed without even looking. What's our medallion? It's not even giving it to us.
We'll never know. Wombos. Oh, Desert Small. Neat. That's pretty convenient.
Yeah, I would see what we got. Yep, Bombos it is. All right, full clear of Juiceless Town here.
Yeah, I think so. Ralen just, as long as Ralen doesn't start skipping stuff for no reason, and he hasn't so far, he's been pretty thorough. As long as he continues doing efficient full clear, I think it's going to be pretty tough for Nochi to catch up. Now, if Ralen decides to start skipping things randomly, that's where it could become an issue.
I mean, left side Meyer wouldn't be the first time we've seen someone skip that out of either spite or the quest to save 2 minutes.
I think it's real hard to skip it.
When you're 6 items. Oh, absolutely.
With 3 small keys going into Meyer.
Gil, if we just say what's smart, this'll be real boring commentary.
Listen, I don't want to lead the people astray, Ty.
I know. I'm just here to offer up what silly ideas could
maybe
cost someone.
Maybe Ralen could fall on Ganon 600 times.
But you already hit it on the head. Ralen has been very thorough, and I don't see him changing that now.
I know she got to get those mitts, and then, I mean, we'll, in all likelihood, just follow in Ralen's footsteps here, go into Ice first, and then Meyer area. But yeah, I mean, Nochi is a dungeon and a half behind right now.
Yeah, and I mean, in his mind, he doesn't necessarily know that, but he probably still feels bad about the LL.
Oh, you don't feel very good about that at all. Yeah.
No. And so, the two schools of thought are, do I still play what's smart and hope that they fumble along the way, or, do I now just go completely off the rails? And this flute will tell us where Nochi's mind is at.
Do Meyer area first, which I guess this is fine.
Yeah, I mean, if you can avoid full clearing ice and go mode it instead, you save, what, 2 minutes?
Ain't no way we're avoiding full clearing ice here.
I said if.
I'm just saying, that's not something that should be on Nochi's brain, because there's no way you're going to find the 6 items you still need here.
Well, because historically, there's never been anything in Meyer.
That's true, except for Quake. Quake was in there.
That's
now
true.
Ralen has all medallions.
It will be double Bombo Seed. So yeah, now we're down to what, 4 items needed max?
Yep, 2 big keys, Castle Tower Small, and the Ice Rod. So 2 Ice Rods, and... Oh, alright.
Well,
now
hey,
we
there's
just
that big
need
key.
Or 3. We just need 3 ice rods and we're good to go. Now we get to play the fun game of do we dip TR looking for the ice rod?
You mean the quote-unquote vanilla rando ice rod that's always on Laser Bridge because game has jokes? Of course we do.
Alright, I'm trying to preserve Spooky here. I think that's okay. I'm just going to go ahead and do right side desert first. This is not correct, but okay.
It's not, but like I said, I fear Nochi is in that mindset now of I need something to pay out, and darn it, if it's going to cost
I don't think this isn't the play you make because your opponent's obviously just going to do this up their mire. If you want to make that play, you do Smith Chain after you find them Smiths.
No, I agree, but it's that trap that you can fall into of, well, if it pays out, haha. Hey man, when you asked me to come, I never said I'd be good.
Listen, it's fine. You're the hopeful, calm, and I'm the angry, realistic, negative calm.
Can we get the command changed to Statler and Waldorf? Or the overlay? Although they were both angry. That's a terrible, terrible idea. Anyway, Ralen clearing out Mire there. Popping back into desert, like you said, Gil. Proper sequencing here. Gonna be able to check that right side nice and quickly. Not gonna find anything, but yeah, gonna go ahead and probably just go right to TR. Find that ice rod in TR, and then
it's actually a tricky. Like I think there's a reasonable. You can make a reasonable case for either one, like because you still have Smith Chain and you still have Pyramid Fairy and stuff on the overworld here versus, there is a bunch of stuff on the mountain too. I wouldn't fault anyone for doing either or here. I think they're both legitimate choices. It's just how safe and how thorough do you want to play? Do you feel like you have the time to spend to make sure you just guarantee that you're going to have the items?
I mean, I think Ralen turning in that mushroom just gave you that answer. As he then just skips Smith Chain and flutes the mountain. I'll be over here being wrong the whole time.
Mushroom is like a 20-second check versus the other ones, which are significantly more.
Yeah, but
also gives you a
5 checks in a minute is the same as. I'm just.
Smith Chain. I mean, I wish that here. Just a minute. There are a lot of checks up here. We have Hookshot Cave, we have Super Bunny, we have most of TR. We know Ice Rod can't be in GT.
But what about second Ice Rod that doesn't exist in this mode?
Suddenly, main tournament is now a no logic tournament.
I'm pretty sure I know many people in this community who would be okay with that.
I know a few, yes.
Wow, big sadness in Hookshot Cave.
I think the downside... So the thing is, Nochi probably feels behind, so I don't think he's going to do those checks before coming up the mountain here.
Do I get to be hopeful again, or do you want me to
You can, yeah, by all means.
I mean, the alternative is, like we were discussing, do you do those checks before going up? Because if you go into TR looking for Ice Rod and it's not there, then you have to climb the mountain again. So, again, these are all things could be going through the runners' minds.
I hate an extra mountain climb.
Do you hate it more than my blind optimism?
No.
All right, cool. I was going to say, are you secretly NSW? Because whenever I'm blindly optimistic, she's like, no, that's not right. I'm like, come on, it could happen.
All right, into TR, we get 12 checks total between the 11 we can open plus Mimic Cave.
Yeah, just down to the 3 final ice rods of GT Big, Castle Tower Small, actual ice rod. And I don't know about you, Gil, but I would prefer to find them in order of Castle Tower, GT Big, ice rod.
Oh yeah, 100%. Make ice rod my go. Thank you.
I will just run straight up GT. Thanks.
Yeah. Alright, Nochi finishing up Meyer. Gonna head over to Ice next, clear that out, and then we'll see what Nochi decides to do. Oh, there's the ice rod. Wow, how about that?
You know, as the optimism left my lips.
Alright, well, we have so Ralen will have access to GT after clearing this, and just needs to find those last 2 keys. They could be anywhere.
Anywhere you say?
Pretty much. I mean, the Castle Tower keys could be anywhere, except for a Lumberjack at this point, which I don't know if we scouted.
I feel like one of them scouted it.
Yeah.
I feel like Ralen scouted it, and it was like a red rupee.
I mean, GT Big can be anywhere except for the climb or GT Big chest.
I mean, it was double bombos today, so if Nochi wanted to be a mad lad and go mode ice, we know he wouldn't get punished, but then, inquiries would be made and questions would be asked.
It's real tough to be like, yeah, you know what, I'm 4 items away from go.
Like, even if you feel behind, that's just not something you do. Like, maybe iced tea you skip, but none of this stuff on the way.
Yeah. Yeah, if you're looking to cut some corners, Ice Tea's a reasonable one. We know obviously it will not burn him in this case, but I mean Nochi may also have like, oh god, skipping something has already burned me once, I don't want to do it again.
Yep. And I mean, these are just all the things going through your mind as Ralen plays the Song of His People for the Mimics.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, it worked on Pulse Voice in Zelda 1. Why can't it work on Mimics in
That's
Zelda 3?
what I'm saying.
I mean, you shout at your DS in, what was it, Phantom Hourglass?
That sounds like something you had to do, yeah.
I like how with every new system, Nintendo tries to, like, incorporate just, like, 1 or 2 small things that system can do, like, right, shout at your DS, or...
People, I have to clear something up in chat here. Ralen has to skip Lava Chest here, because if he does not have enough keys to get to try next. So yes, we are skipping Lava Chest.
Oh, all day, every day. That is now his last location. And absolutely cut me off. I'm talking absolute just garbage out of my mouth right now.
No, it's important stuff. It's important stuff.
Alright, a whole lot of nothing pulled out of Ice Palace for Nochi. Maybe he feels good about that ether, thinking, haha, now that's my advantage, but we know it's just a double bombo seed as everyone's favorite bridge.
Hey, smoky this time.
Alright, absolutely mirror. right here. Like, this is your one and only
no,
chance.
you don't. You absolutely do not mirror. No chance. Nope, you do not mirror.
Well, as I have been wrong, and there's CT, so we're now on a one ice rod hunt. As I have been wrong with every other call this commentary, I will leave it to you, Sir Gill.
You've got 22 chances to find the GT big in GT versus going all the way back to Lava Chest. Forget it. No chance.
Or 10 minutes of time waste and then finding it in Lava Chest.
Nope. Give me those odds. I'll take the 22.
Hey, Gil, I got a plando for you.
Okay, sure.
That tempered sword was sure nice, though.
That is nice.
Like, yeah, these runners are both more than capable of beating this game on Master Sword, especially with silvers, but you're not going to turn down Master to tempered. Maybe tempered to butter.
Climb a lot nicer.
Nice cold from Nochi as we get dueling boss explosions again.
All right, let's see what Nochi does. I mean, so Nochi's only realistic out here is checking Smith Chain or Pyramid Fairy and finding GT Big Key there, because that gives him back about 5 minutes or so of Ralen doing GT Big, and plus another mountain climb.
Yeah.
I don't think Nochi's going to do that, but we will see.
I don't either. I think we're down to 2 ice rods for Nochi at this point, or 3 rather. I think, yeah.
Yeah, straight up the mountain. Yep.
Chat's doing its best DK64 impression, trying to count to 16. I don't know what's going on.
Banana.
Oh, they're randos! Ralen has that 7th crystal in hand, has 3 pendants in hand as well, so, I mean, we don't have to clear GT looking for, pendant big keys. That is the one nice part about how this seed bottlenecked us. But, here we go into GT, Gil. What's your preferred GT route?
I think if you do anything other than right side first with in keys, you're incorrect.
Wow.
So Ralen correctly choosing the right side route.
I cannot wait for Hope Left to pay out here.
No,
and you just have
it's
egg
ridiculous.
on your face.
I have no eggs.
You should go to the grocery store, my friend.
I probably do need to, honestly.
Go grab some eggs from the kitchen of a certain golf course.
Oh, Tower of Hair, small key. That's exciting.
Okay, that's just spicy.
It's not that spicy, but it could be, but probably not.
It's like a level of 1 out of 216 spice, I would say.
Not as spicy because you can just mirror and hit it. Oh,
grab it!
Wow, coward.
The straight disrespect. I mean, he's already done Laser Bridge, so I get it.
Yeah, but you can block the mimics that way.
Oh, that's so true. That is so true. Time loss.
Hey, small, sure, whatever, don't care. Small keys, or just, hey, nice boots.
Wow, this game was cruel. What's our stun prize? A whole heart. Alright, Nochi about to get his Castle Tower Small and Ice Rod, so gonna be in the same boat, but like we said, behind Ralen in entire TR. It's...
And change, yeah.
Yeah, it's looking... And by looking, I mean, for the last while, it has looked heavily in favor of Ralen here.
Yeah, and unfortunately, Nochi just hasn't done any of the things that could have potentially pulled him back into this, which, it's hard to blame him for because those things suck, but those were really the only options he had to make up time.
Yeah, but I mean, like, are you really going to make those skips? Are you really going to commit to completing the lower world, I'll call it, before
It's
the
tough
mountain.
to say in Nochi's
yeah.
position because you feel so bad about that hook shot. Like you don't want to do any extraneous stuff if you can avoid it. So it's a tough call.
Yeah, I mean that. I wouldn't say that's the only out, Ivy, because even that is, but
Yeah,
it's a
I don't think
possible
that
out
helps them that
because
much, but
no, I definitely see Ralen, doing other things before going back to TR, but it being the GT big that's missing, you're gonna stay on the mountain. Like you might go back and yeah, that's fair.
I don't know actually. I mean, if you don't find it in the basement here, you check Hera basement. I don't know that you go back to TR before you do Smith Chain and Pyramid Fairy. But yes, I mean that is a viable out for Nochi. I don't see him doing it.
I just want to be the smart one for one scale.
All right, all right, all right. Well, we got one more check in GT. Hot
See?
takes in chat. This mode is such trash.
With hope left, you would have done this before Compass Room, saving time. Just
No,
saying.
I still wouldn't have. Not go -1. If I still needed 2 items, I do Tile Room first. But if I only need 1, eh.
Alright, Nochi not playing the flute for the mimics. -1 point.
Those poor mimics. All they wanted is a little music. Alright, it is not in GT Basement, and now this is where the panic sets in if you're around Tankir. He doesn't... Again, we know that he's got a pretty healthy lead, but now you're like, oh man, is it really one of the things that I skipped?
One of the few things still on the surface, whatever you want to call lower eye rule. Taking the coffee break.
So now you want to
sense.
check the things you found in GT or recently first. So he's going to do this, probably check the shovel.
Yeah. I mean, the only other painful option is powder, but even that has to turn up very quickly for Ralen because he turned in that mushroom. But yeah, that's got to be Pyramid Fairy or Smith Chain. Well, it doesn't have to be. It could be upstairs GT if it leads to nothing. I know.
I didn't say anything.
I saw the side eye.
Alright, anything in Juice Tower? No. Alright. Yeah, and we're gonna flute off the mountain as expected here. Check him at shovel. See if Nochi decides to mirror. I don't think he's gonna. No, he's not. Oh! Whoa. Oh, this is... Oh, interesting. So Nochi is gonna go ahead. I don't know if this is the right way to do it.
I would almost argue, yeah, mirror back to the big chest entry and check lava chest that way. But
that's better. But I mean, this is a potential out here.
It might be close. Someone would obviously have to time it because now you can just mirror back. Yeah, it's gonna be close.
Someone else can time that.
Yeah, both runners are looking for the GT big key.
yeah, this is Nochi's last option. If this is the GT big key, he's actually looking to be in pretty good shape.
Yeah, that's going to turn the tide again. If
not, this is Ralen's game.
Which, what more can you ask for in a tiebreaker? Let's be honest.
A tie.
Who hurt you?
That is not a big key, unfortunately, for Nochi. So it's going to be either on Smith Chain or Pyramid Fairy.
Shovel. Yeah, not
We
much
checked
left.
shovel.
Oh,
yeah.
we did. I missed it. I apologize.
There it is. Smith
Hey,
Chain. All right.
the Smiths.
So that is official go mode for Ralen.
So again, I don't know if Nochi doing Smith Chain before Turtle Rock would have been enough. Because if you do Smith Chain before Turtle Rock, you're going to do Pyramid Fairy as well for that Ice Rod. So it's like...
Probably. I mean, if that's the case, they're both climbing GT at roughly the same time, I think.
Yeah. It's
Nochi's probably...
It's tough.
Yeah, I think Ralen's probably still slightly ahead, but it's pretty close.
Yeah, like mitts on pet are just so disgusting.
I mean, they are disgusting, but Nochi needed that in order to even have a shot here.
Very true. Very true. That made it closer than it could have been.
But yeah, it all comes down to checking Hyrule Castle. Alright, so Ralen just needs to go ahead and finish up a climb here, and then finish up another climb, and then beat a pig.
Ida would like a word with you, sir.
Listen, I'm not endorsing anything. I'm just saying that's what's going to happen.
Touche. I mean, we have both runners in GT at the same time.
We do, yes.
Oh, Ralen, you know what would have made you not get hit by that mimic? The mirror shield. Oh,
Dang.
All I can do now is throw shade because, I mean, Nochi's grabbing it for the people. Let's go.
That's right. Thank you, Nochi. He understands. He's a mirror shield understander.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, it really is. Yeah, you know, Ralen played a very safe game and made the gamble when it mattered. You know, play that safe early game, gamble late. It worked out. Nochi just it stinks that this was the one seed in 20,000 where Gamachu was right.
I know.
And the Thieves Town
basically never right.
No, I mean, he's never won anything, you know, in recent memory at all.
Oh, definitely has not won multiple tournaments recently.
Salt of the earth, that guy, though. He really is nice, man. I only tease him because he actually says hello to me from time to time. But we got silvers.
You
we
buy
got
ice
tempered.
cream for us. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna be opening any more checks here. No reason to really fluff anything at the top of GT.
I mean, you fluff the top of GT for the people.
I don't know that you do that.
Ill, a man of not the people.
I mean, I am. I don't know if Ralen is.
Good save.
Oh, I thought we were gonna hover for a second here.
It's always like the biggest pop off when someone who doesn't historically hover just busts one out on a tournament.
I love seeing that. It's great. It's like, oh my god, I didn't know they could do that.
It's like, you know, roll the clock back 5 years ago. It's like, oh my god, hovering, and now it's just like, oh yeah, hovering. But then someone who doesn't hover pulls it off. It's that same feeling of, oh, let's go.
Back in the day when Andy invented hovering.
I thought he invented the game. Is what I heard from, you know, the annals of time.
The what?
Time?
Alright, nice Agassiz there, Ralen.
Tile room is a nice, that was good agonometry there from Ralen.
Mm-hmm.
I was schooled in the Midwest, man. I don't speak words good.
Alright, remembering
fun
that
fact in elementary, I mistook the word spouse for the word siblings. And in like first grade, asked a teacher if my spouses could come along. Good times, good times. All right, just a nice, calm, boring castle tower climb here for Ralen. Boots, tempered sword, silvers, half magic, a billion hearts, red mail. I think Ralen's got a pretty good chance here. Nochi, yeah. Please.
Does he not have enough magic to Smarty block here? I feel like it's enough with half magic.
I feel like he does have enough, especially knowing that there's a...
Also, doesn't he have green potions?
Yeah, he sure does. All right, now let's see if Nochi also does the right choice here of zipping down to that smith chain. Yeah, gonna do Hera basement because, like we said, it's silly to leave the one check here on the mountain.
It's like a 5 out of 10 hook speed. Sorry.
I mean, he's halfway, and 5 is halfway to 10. This makes sense.
I'm going to use this time to once again plead with any future tournament admins. If you have an AD mode in your tournament, please seed Aga to have 0 blue balls.
15, got it. Hey, you're attorney admin.
I am. Right. I forgot about that. Do we have Aga seated in that one?
Nope.
We probably should. Well, yeah, no, we probably should. I was gonna say, it might mess with the die to Aga goal, but not really.
Nochi choosing correctly, though. Looks like he's coming to the Smiths. I mean, it makes sense. It's your most dense location here. And like you said, you're going to do the things that you just got access to. So, yeah, shovel, but outside of that, I mean, you can do Smiths into shovel. It makes sense.
All right. There are all of the dungeons. We have done them all.
Down goes Frazier.
Alright, Ralen.
It might have been an
one there? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, just enough. Well done. Well done.
Yeah, one of those spins didn't hit twice, so I wasn't entirely sure. I wasn't counting, but nice 1-1. As Nochi picks up his GT big key there.
Yep. Grabbing it and
Now we get
thinking,
to go
oh boy.
back up the mountain.
All that GT basement for nothing. I still don't know if it would have been enough. Like it definitely would have been closer, but I feel like Nochi would be like in Castle Tower right now as opposed to climbing GT
By the way,
right now.
Just seed 0 Ganon warps 2.
Why don't you just take out all randomness in the game, Gil?
All right, I'm listening.
Why don't we play a seed where we know where the items are?
Spoiler? Alright, get your GGs in chat.
Thank you.
For Ralen Tankir, who is going to probably cross this bridge and take this race, winning the tiebreaker and moving on to the bracket stage of the tournament with a official time of 1 hour, 45 minutes, and 18 seconds.
GG's Ralen. Heck of a time, heck of a seed.
What a season and what a season. I believe we're going to try to get our racers here into the chat. We are joined by our winner, Ralen Tankir. GG's.
GG.
Yo, GG's.
Oh, so nice GT big key, right?
I mean, I knew the risk when I went up to TR.
Yeah.
But, it is what it is. Like, I didn't really felt that great about the immediately find the bow after you left Eastern thing.
Yeah, I kind of figured that might have been the one thing that you were rolling your eyes at.
I'm not sure where the Master Sword was. I think that was also in pot, so we're not really able to get the pot big key at least before you go into pot. So that was a forced double dip, I want to say.
Yeah, the Master Sword was in the big key chest of pod.
Yeah, so there was no real way around that. So I wasn't like really too worried, but yeah, it certainly didn't feel great. Especially when I found the Eastern big key, and I was thinking about, do I go into Eastern or do I just desert first for looking for a bow? Like, I mean, I do keep the portal because I have the book, and yeah, like if I had the pot big key, I might have actually gone for that, just so that I can maybe single dip Eastern. But yeah, of course. You can never make the right choice. Like, Renda knows. Like, I swear, if I would have gone to Desert, the bow would have been in Eastern.
Probably, yeah. Yeah, I mean, otherwise, your route seemed like it worked out pretty well. Luckily, I mean, the seed kind of bottlenecked in the middle there with those mitts being on pedestal, so there really wasn't... really didn't have a ton of choice up until that, and then once you got the mitts, it was just, okay, well, you know, do your mitts dungeons, and everything else kind of happened to be on the way, minus the GT big key.
Pretty much. Like, I was wary of the pedestal because we got the I got the Hera big key very early. But then I also got everything for Swamp, and then the Swamp map, and the Swamp compass, and slowly the gears are turning. Like, I'm getting everything that's needed for pedestal, even the stuff that I don't really care about.
Right.
Maybe there's something. And then I see Skullwood's green pendant, and we do have all 3 small keys.
All 3 small keys, yeah.
Well, yeah, probably. Might be a key, might be maybe map compass, who knows, but something's probably on pedestal.
Alright, and we are also joined by Nochi. GG's.
Ugh.
Ugh. Yeah, I mean, kind of just unfortunate sequencing at a couple spots in the seed for you is what set you back.
Finding that bow when I did at like 47 minutes, I knew I was dead. It was like, oh, I just did both of those dungeons, and I could have just peeked this bow so early. No,
I mean,
then the mitts were. Then the
Ralen
mitts
did
were
the
late,
same thing,
and the
honestly.
fire rod was late, and
So
the hook shot.
yeah, I mean the hook shot was what really got, like, the mitts being on ped actually kind of helped you out a little bit, because it funneled you back to that hook shot earlier than you probably would have gotten it otherwise.
Actually, it didn't, because as soon as I saw that, I was going to do Thieves Town right after I did Skullwoods, and then I mirrored. I saw it was a glove. I was like, well, let's go do dungeons instead. What are the odds of Thieves Town big chest?
What I'm saying is that had you found the mitts somewhere else, like if the mitts were just chilling in desert or something like that, then you suddenly go into Ice Palace looking for hookshot, and then you go into Mire looking for hookshot, and all these other places that wouldn't have had it.
Oh, fair.
But yeah, kind of unfortunate. I don't know. Like, was there anything that you were like feeling good about during that seed, or were you just kind of like off of it for most of the time?
Like, I like that we had everything. It seemed like we were getting, well, we, like Ralen just said, well, we got all the things to make Skullwoods and Logic. When does that ever happen? We got all the stuff for like Swamp except the hookshot, so maybe it's in there again this tournament. It seemed like we have all these keys to Pod. That's probably something, and it was if you go to the Castle Tower first.
Okay, we are seeing what I read in the race time room.
Yeah,
on screen here. I'm not even sure how you managed to quadruple glitch that, but yeah.
Yeah, it's if you spin / off of Moldorm across the middle line of the room, that's how this happens. And
Okay,
it's like,
yeah,
I've done that a few times, and I've never actually gotten the glitch before, so I thought maybe it had been like silently patched out. And yeah, it's not patched out.
The thing is, it was patched out, but the patch broke other things, so Quadrant Ridge was actually, or the Quadrant Ridge patch was actually taken back, and yeah, still persists.
Right, I thought maybe it had been repatched, because I still had never hit it.
Like,
and then I got to this room, it's like, oh, maybe they fixed it, and then there's no mini helmets. No, never mind. And then I got the stairs here, which I didn't know was even a thing.
That's fun. All right. Well, yeah. I mean, GG's again to both you guys. Ralen, congratulations on making it into brackets.
Thank you.
Nochi, unfortunately, sorry. It's going to be the end of your run, but you know, I still feel like is this your first main tour?
Yes, this is my first main.
Yes. Okay. So I mean, I think that's still a pretty respectable showing here.
Getting to 3-3 against these three opponents, I'm more than happy with. I didn't expect to win one race, let alone 3.
Right. So yeah, I mean, hopefully you had a good time doing it at least.
Oh yeah, it was fun. Except, not being able to finish a seed.
Well, we'll have to talk to the devs about that. I'm sure they'll get right on that. So yeah, looking forward. Obviously we don't have any bracket matchups set in stone yet, but we're gonna work on getting those over the course of the next couple days. Like I said, at the start of the race, we are finishing up the group stage of the tournament. Probably, I don't know, about half the groups or so have been settled. So we'll still have a bunch more races to go. Looking at the schedule real quick. Take a look, see if I'm sure there are more races coming up today.
Later today, at least.
Yes, we have 7 o'clock. We have another race on SpeedGaming made between Magno and Paulinoi. 8 o'clock. These are all Eastern time, by the way. TJ Maelstrom versus Akuhaish on SpeedGaming 3. There's going to be another one on SpeedGaming 2 at 10:30 between Leoria and Ganon's Gone Wild, and 11:30 between Swaglicious and Jula Ninja. So quite a few races still happening today and over the course of the next few days as we finish up these group stages, moving on to the bracket. So yeah, GG's again to both of our runners. Thank you to our tracker for helping us out. I know we only had one tracker on this, so thank you to Arbu for tracking for us. Thank you to my co-com Tiberius, who fortunately had to duck out of the comm booth at the very end here. So, but thank you, and thank you, chat, for existing. What would we do without you? That's gonna do it for us here for now. We'll catch you back here at 7:10 p.m. for the next race on SpeedGaming. Until then, have a wonderful Halloween.